Welcome back to the second episode of these movie reviews. The last episode we did the review. I reviewed Ryan and the Lost Dragon and Invisible Sister. Invisible Sister, a Disney Channel original movie, and Ryan and the Lost Dragon, the most recent Disney film. Today we've got one of my favourite personal films of this year so far, Luca, an animated Pixar film, and we've got another Disney Channel original film from early. Luca, very recent, but How to Build a Better Boy was a bit earlier on in this decade, and this is it. So we're going to start off with probably one of my my best personal favourite Pixar film. I don't know why, I just like it a lot. So we got, it's a very awesome, it's great. So we got, let's start off with the good. The good, we have the setting. This movie takes place in Italy. And is Italy a good setting? Yes, definitely. Obviously they beat England in the Euros, which is a bit sad, but I just knew we weren't going to do it. But speaking of Italy in a good way, it's a great place for a movie to be set. And that's why I've given it 19 out of 20. We've got the friend trio of Luca, voiced by Jacob Tremblay, Alberto, voiced by Jack Dylan Grazer, and Julia, voiced by newcomer Emma Berman. These are the three friends that meet. Luca and Alberto are fish. This will focus on the premise. This will be part of the premise. This is part of the premise. So Luca and Alberto are sea monsters. Luca is a sea monster that's never gone to the surface. Alberto is a sea monster that lives on the surface. Whenever a sea monster comes off the every time a sea monster goes up to the surface and gets rid of all the water on them, they turn human. And Luca and Alberto, Alberto introduces Luca to the human world, and Luca asks Alberto if he's ever been to the town across the sea, and Alberto said no, but he said his dad knows, his dad told him about it, and he's pretty much an expert. Alberto says he's pretty much an expert on all these things. He says I'm pretty much an expert at walking. I'm pretty much an expert at Italian. I'm pretty much an expert about the town. And he just goes on about it. But that's what makes him so interesting. And obviously the twist with his dad, about his dad, and I'll talk to you about that later. Following on to the premise of the movie, it's about two sea monsters, Luca and Alberto. Alberto introduces Luca to the real world, the human world, and during their journey then they head over to the city, the town across the sea, and they come across this great town. They head over, and they're so interested in it. When Luca kicked a football for the first time, it is in the town where we meet the bad guy. Where we meet the bad guy of the film. So he's driving down. Alberto and Luca. So yeah, it's about Luca and Alberto going to the human town and they meet the bad guy called Ercole Visconti. He's the 5-time winner of the town's cup, the Porto Rosso Cup. He's very bratty, and I'll talk to you about him later. And Luca and Alberto are interrogated by Ercole throughout the movie, but they have someone to help out with them, and it's it's someone who lives in Porto Rosso during the summer and heads back to Genova with her mum for school. Her name is Julia, and she is played by, her name is Julia in English, but Julia in English. He's Julia, but also Julia. Julia is Italian for Julia. Yes. So yeah, basically, and then Luca, Alberto, and Julia enter the Porto Rosso Cup. Alberto is revealed to be a sea monster. He then runs away. Luca asks the host of the Porto Rosso Cup if he can do it on his own. The person allows it. Julia says it's about her because by this point in the movie, Julia has found out about Luca and Alberto's secret, and basically Luca and Julia work against each other. Julia helps, but for Luca to not reveal his secret of being a sea monster, he wears the same costume that Alberto wore the first time Luca met him. So and by the end of the race, Alberto revealed the secret at being a sea monster to the entire town of Porto Rosso, including Ercole, and basically he ends up helping. Luca then saves him from the townsfolk, and basically Luca, Alberto, and Julia win the Porto Rosso Cup. Ercole's goons, which I'll talk about later, Ciccio and Guido, get revenge on Ercole by So, yeah, and basically, Luca, Alberto, and Julia win the World Cup, win the Porto Rosso Cup. The first time a sea monster has ever done it, because the town didn't know that there were sea monsters living in the sea. So basically, Luca, Alberto, and Julia are friends now in the film after Ercole's finished and defeated, and Julia heads back to school in Genova. Heads back to Genova to go to her mum's house to be able to get ready to go to her school in Genova. Alberto and Luca take Luca and Alberto, but secretly Alberto buys Luca a ticket, so Luca joins Julia at school while Alberto stays behind and helps out Massimo, Julia's dad, in Porto Rosso. And basically, Massimo become so yeah, basically a great film. Good premise. It's a coming of age story. It's coming in of age story, by the way. And number 4 is going to be the heartbreaking moments. The heartbreaking moments are Julia being left behind by Luca and Alberto. Luca turning on Alberto by saying, Luca turning on Alberto, and the reason, and if you don't know what that means, So basically, the reason behind this heartbreaking moment. So Alberto and Luca are getting further apart, Julia comes back down. Luca and Alberto reveals his secret of being a sea monster to Julia. Julia reacts super like you would if you saw that your friend was a sea monster. And Luca pointed to Alberto and said, "Sea monster turning on him." And we also found out that Alberto's dad left him at a very young age, and that's the saddest moment throughout the entire film. And then finally, 5 is going to be my favourite character in all of Pixar, Julia Marcrovaldo, the daughter of Massimo Marcrovaldo. Emma Berman, great performer. She can go on from hopefully she goes on to many great things. She plays a great character. Julia is cute, is nice to people. Yes, she's bullied by Ercole, but she revenges she defeats Ercole and stops Ercole from winning his 6th Porto Rosso Cup. Emma Berman brings so much energy to the character. Her Italian is spot on, and her relationship with Luca and Alberto, great. Her relationship with her dad, great. And her not, caring about other people but herself, but destroying Ercole. So, 19 out of 20 for setting, 17 out of 20 for friend trio of Luca, Alberto and Julia, 18 out of 20 for premise of the movie, 19 out of 20 for the heartbreaking moments, 20 out of 20 for Julia herself. That means it's 93 out of 100 for the good. It's 21 out of 100, 21 out of 50 for the bad. We have the amount of moments in the sea. Even though it's about sea monsters, we don't spend too much time in the sea monster world. So basically, the amount of moments in the sea are null and void. It's not the end of the world, but I would have loved more. It's not null and void. There's just not many. There's very few moments or scenes in the sea, and that really takes away from the whole premise of the two main characters being a sea monster. If the two main characters are sea monsters, we have to spend more time in the sea monster realm. Next up, we have 2 points about the bad guy. We have the bad guy Ercole Visconti, which is his second name, Ercole Visconti, the 5-time winner of the Porto Rosso Cup. Does 2 things. He uses a spear to try and kill Luca and Alberto, because by this point, when he does this, he's already found out about Luca and Alberto being sea monsters. And second of all, we have he has his goons, and they're not the end of the world, but they're a bit. Chicho and Guido aren't the worst goons, but they're the goons for one of the worst Pixar villains in terms of how awful the character is and how awful of a person he is. Bad guy and himself and his goons. His goons weren't great. Chicho and Guido, I like them as characters. They're good characters. Them being the goons to a really bad villain in terms of how bad he is, how bad of a character he is, how awful of a person he is. To mainly Julia. He's not that awful to other people. He is awful to Chicho and Guido, but that's because they're called goons. They're not supposed to be. The villain doesn't want to treat no villain treats their goons very well. In Pixar or Disney. Next up we have the ending felt weird. There was one answer to questions is, there were a few answer to questions. How well does Luca get on at school? Does Julia make friends at school? What Alberto does well, Luca and Julia at school, and many, many more. That's what pisses me off a little bit about this movie. And finally, the betrayal. The betrayal for Luca. The betrayal between the Luca betrayal on Alberto was good, but there was one thing about it: is why did Alberto just, all that Alberto had to do was jump into the sea, taking Luca with him, and then their secret would have been revealed by the end, and Julie wouldn't have done anything because she's gotten so close to them. It's really cool though, but still it's a great movie. 93 out of 100 for the good, 21 out of 50 for the bad, and that when we, and if we minus them from each, minus the good, minus the bad from the good, we get the score of 72 out of 100. Onto the second and final film in this film review in this video, and it's the movie, the Disney Channel movie, How to Build a Better Boy. We have, so good point number one is going to be point number one is Kelly Bergen's performance. You won't know much about this actress, Kelly Bergen. She's been on a few things on Netflix. She was on a Disney XD show, one of the Disney XD shows, Lab Rats, one of my personal favourite Disney Channel shows, which I haven't watched many, but I have watched a few. And she's really. So it's good. I like she's a great performer. She's good in this film, and she deserves 20 out of 20. Next up, we have China Anne McClain. China Anne McClain, known for many things. The Descendants Disney Channel original movie franchise, and a lot of other stuff. And it's really good. So, and her performance in this film is just as good as Kelly Bergen's performance, so it deserves a 20 out of 20. Next up, we have the Lab Rats Effect. Just like I was saying, Lab Rats is my personal favourite Disney Channel show, and there is, like I said, Kelly Bergen is from Lab Rats, and the Lab Rats Effect is, I'm calling this the Lab Rats Effect, where there's when a movie has a character, an actor, has an actor that's either from Lab Rats or relates to an actor. This film has Kelly Bergen in, and she's part of the Lab Rats Effect. I love this film better than of these other films. Some of these this is the best part about this film is I love Lab Rats. So any Lab Rats character, any Lab Rats actors in films that I watch, in other films that I watch, I'm happy. That is the lab rats effect. The effect that an actor or an actress that has from lab rats that has on a film. And Kelly Bergen has a big impact slash effect on this film. And that's what the lab rats effect is. And when so yeah, that's the lab rats effect, where a movie has a character played by an actor or an actress from the Lab Rats series, and that's what I like about it. And it's just good, really good. And that because I like Lab Rats so much, and it works. And Kelly Bergen's performance is amazing. 20 out of 20. The characters, there's one character that I hate, and that's the Mean Girl character, who's also a Lab Rats, who is also in Lab Rats. I'll talk about her later, and that takes away 2. So it's going to be 8, but it's still going to be 18 out of 20. And the plot is about 2 best friends, Charlie Ann McClane's character making a boyfriend for Kelly Bergen's character. They are both, Kelly Bergen's character and Charlie Ann McClane's character are both geeks. And basically, Charlie Ann McClane's character builds a new boyfriend from Kelly Bergen's character from her dad's company, from Kelly Bergen's character's dad's company, and basically antics ensue. But still, it's a great plot. 20 out of 20. Next up, we have the bad. We have the U.S. Army in the film. This is what takes it down. I care nothing. I care absolutely nothing at all for the US Army part of the film. It's awful, boring, and annoying. I just don't like it. Another part of this movie that I absolutely hate is the Mean Girl. The Mean Girl is absolutely awful, and that's what makes her okay. And that's what makes her a good enough Mean Girl, but still annoys me a lot. Next up, we have the twist. The twist of the boy being a pot work. Next up is going to be the 2 love interests for me. The Kelly Bergen's character. There's the better boy love interest for May, and then there's the jock love interest for May, or the jock, the girlfriend of the Mean Girl, the boyfriend of the Mean Girl love interest. And finally, last but not least, we have the ending. The ending confuses me a little bit. Is why did the better boy have to have himself explode? I just don't get it. It's just not as good as it could be. The ending could definitely be better. We have for the good 98 out of 100 for the good, 27 out of 100 for the bad. 27 minus 98 makes the score 71 out of 100. And that's going to be more than less than Luca, less than the previous 3 that we've done. Less than Luca, Where and the Lost Dragon, Invisible Sister. Less than Luca, Invisible Sister, and Why and the Last Dragon. But till next, subscribe to my channel, keep the notification bell to see all my latest videos. Until next episode, I am out. Peace. Bye.